Hello. I hope that, as always, you're doing really well. I felt like it was time that I did a little Q&A. I have one Q&A on my channel, but that is all about the topic of ASMR. So it's not really personal. And I did ask for questions, just general questions that you might have for me. I think about 2 months ago, so it's taken me a while to sit down to do the video. For no real reason, my book videos just always felt like more of a priority to me to make, so that's, I think, the only reason why I haven't done it yet. But I felt like it was about time that I did it. I really enjoy Q&A videos, especially if I'm new to the person's channel. So I think that they're a good way to get to know somebody that you watch. And thank you to everybody who submitted questions. There were some interesting questions, and I just think it's really nice that you want to get to know me a little bit. I don't know how many questions I got. I got probably about a dozen questions. Or some people asked multiple questions, so a little bit more. But I have looked at the questions, but I haven't thought about my answers. So I tend to talk pretty slow anyway, but I think that there will probably be a lot of pausing in this video. But I know that as an ASMR watcher myself, I think I like pauses. Don't know why, but I think that I like it when people talk slow and have pauses. Yes, but just a warning, that will probably happen. It's also possible that I won't be able to answer a question if I keep thinking about it and I can't find the answer. So, yeah, but really, thank you to those of you who asked questions. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say before I got into it, so let's get into this Q&A. So, first question. Oh yeah, I guess I should also say I might mess up usernames. So, okay. First question is from It's 2022 Now. A few questions for you. what are your goals for your YouTube channel? So, I'm in a way already sort of achieving my goal for my channel. I would like to get bigger, but I don't have some number in mind. I, fully expect to remain a pretty small channel, and that's okay with me. But the more people that, I think especially with a channel like an ASMR channel that where you're really trying to help people, that you want to reach as many people as you can and help as many people as you can. So the more the better in my mind. I don't want to be big for any sort of external reason. I just, I care about, I care about ASMR a lot because it's helped me so much, so it's like every single person, every single view that I get matters to me, and I know that I'm helping, one person, but I'd also like to do that for as many people as possible. Hope that makes sense, but yeah, and then I'm already sort of achieving my goal because the goal was to create content that, people enjoy, and I'm hoping that's true. And really, like, comments that I get explaining that really, really mean a lot to me, because that really is my goal. So, yeah. And I just talked about ASMR a lot and how important it is to me. And this channel is important to me. But I also really, really like books and reading, as is clear, I imagine. And I've been thinking recently that I might want to make a second channel that is not ASMR, but it's just like a book channel. So I haven't done that yet, but I'm strongly thinking about it. And so I guess another goal is to maybe grow an audience that would follow me to that channel. But even if that didn't happen, just to create this other channel and, create another community that might have overlap between that channel and this channel, or it might not. So, their second question was, what is your biggest achievement so far in life? So, as many of you might know, I'm a grad student, and I am working towards an almost to the point where I'm getting my PhD, and I'd say that my biggest achievement so far has been getting my master's degree. So the degree right before this one that I'm working towards now. that's the first thing that comes to my mind, is like that education. And yeah, I mean, it's been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember, right? Being in school. I didn't take any gap years. I didn't take any time off aside from summer breaks, but even then I was working, and sometimes I was doing schoolwork. So I feel like it would be weird if I didn't think about that as a big achievement. Like getting the degree after putting so much work in. And trying to think if there's anything else that comes to mind. Like, because I've spent so much time in school, and that a lot of the time being the priority in my life, now that I'm transitioning out of that, I've been switching a little bit to prioritizing relationships and my social life. That includes my family, my friends, my partner. It also just includes little day-to-day interactions with people. Going to a doctor's appointment, even just like going to the bookstore and talking with the cashier. I've noticed over the last year, I've been gradually becoming more and more aware of these things and investing more in relationships and caring more about them. And as a result, I think I'm also thinking of these things as achievements. Maintaining relationships with people, being a good partner, being a good daughter, being a good friend, being a good person. So I feel like I've done a good job at that, but I'm also, I think, getting better. So it's another, very different kind of achievement. Their last question is, did you get your wisdom teeth removed? If so, was it fast to fall asleep at the dentist? I'm terrified, lol. So this comment was from, a couple months ago, so I'm probably too late to make you feel less terrified. But also, I have gotten wisdom teeth removed. I think I was maybe 19 or 20, and I think I only got the bottom ones removed. It might have just been on one side. I actually can't remember. But I actually was not put to sleep. I remember feeling pretty bummed about that because it just seemed fun to be on the drugs and stuff afterwards. People are always so funny after they get their wisdom teeth removed and they got put to sleep. But they didn't want to do that for me for some reason. So I was just awake the whole time. They, I was completely numb. in the area, but I was awake, and it was sort of scary, but I wasn't that scared. I could totally see why someone would be terrified, though. Like, I do hate going to the dentist, but because I was numb and stuff, I wasn't feeling any pain, so yeah. The aftermath of wisdom teeth really sucked. I actually got an infection, so I had to go back, and I don't remember what happened. I think they probably just gave me antibiotics, and it was fine, but yeah, I hope that, I'm guessing that you already got them removed, so if you did, I hope that it went well. Okay, so thank you for your questions. It's 2022 now. Emmanuel, they comment a lot on my videos, so thank you. You asked, I would like to know, how do you select the books you're going to read, and a little bit about your work, PhD, if that's not too personal, of course. So, to answer the first question, I curate my, TBR list, the books that I want to read, totally based on social media, based on mainly YouTube. I really only watch 3 channels, and they're not ASMR channels, just book channels, and it's Haley Pham, Destiny Sidwell, and Sarah Caroli. Oh, those are my main book girlies, and I used to get a lot of books from TikTok, but I haven't been going on TikTok. So it's usually those 3 channels. I do also watch Carrie Can Read, and I watch The Book Leo, and obviously I watch ASMR Fleur, who does make book videos sometimes, and we have similar tastes in books, so overall I really solely get recommendations from YouTube, and but if you're asking, from book to book, how do I select them? I am a total mood reader, so as soon as I finish a book, I think about what book I'm in the mood for next, and it just really depends on how the last book made me feel, or other things that are making me feel like a certain kind of book. I will say sometimes if there's a book that's really popular at the moment, then I might want to read that, And then, yes, their second question was, they'd like to know about my PhD work. I have gotten this question a few times because I've mentioned, that I am a PhD student, and I've gone back and forth on whether that's too personal. But I think it's fine to talk about. And I think it's really cool that people care about that, so I'm happy to talk about it a bit. So I don't think I've said what program I'm in, what I'm getting a PhD in. I am getting a PhD in social psychology. So It is a research-based program. My whole life is conducting research, so it's mostly for me survey-based, so I design online surveys to test my research questions, and then I will analyze the data and write it up for publication. So sometimes it involves just self-report questionnaires, but sometimes it also involves experiments. So I'll design experiments to test my research questions, and my area of expertise, not an expert really, I don't like that word, expertise, is motivation. So and then it just gets more and more specific. So I'm in a lab that within social psychology that studies motivation and self-regulation. So that means motivation, people's motivation for their goals. So I know and have learned a lot about both what motivates people, like basic motivations that we have, what motivates people in certain situations to do certain things, and also different ways to motivate someone, to make them more motivated or less motivated. And I'm generally interested in more like longer term personal goals, more like life goals that people have. And I'm really interested in relationships between motivation and goals and well-being. So I could get more specific, but I don't want to get too specific, so at least yet. So I don't know, I hope that's interesting. Yeah, so next, comforting sounds ASMR. They always leave really sweet comments on my channel, so thank you. They asked, what is the strangest / grossest food combination that you enjoy? I don't think I like a lot of weird combinations. I'll tell you some combinations. I like bananas with peanut butter, apples with peanut butter, banana and chocolate. One weird thing that I do, I think it's really weird, I've never heard of anyone doing this. It's not really like a combination of foods, but I will dip, if I have steamed broccoli, which I had a lot as a kid. I don't really eat it now, but I like to dip it in water before I eat it. I couldn't tell you why. It just tastes better to me. Maybe I'm like literally washing the taste off, but I like the taste of broccoli, so I don't think it's that. That's all I can think of. Their next question is, what kind of career are you studying for? So, because my program is research-based, I am working towards a career as a researcher. So, that might be related to social psychology, or it might not. It might just have to do with could have to do with the user experience. Like, I could be a user experience researcher. I could work for like an HR company. I'd really like to get into government and be a policy analyst or a research officer. But yeah, there was a point where I was more interested in being a professor, so that was the career that I was working towards, but I've pretty much ruled that out now. Not 100%, but I pretty much ruled that out. Their next question is, have you read a book yet that really stood out with you? You think of the book / characters long after you've read it, or it really impacted your thoughts, etc., etc. So, if I had to pick, I recently read the book that I think I'd answer for this. The book right here, My Dark Vanessa, has stuck with me a lot. But I'm going to say that The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, it's a book that I just finished, so I guess that could be influencing things, but I also think that I can tell that I'm going to be thinking about it a lot. So thank you, Comforting Sounds. Next is A Love Supremist. What do you think of the 60, 80, 100 plus book haul videos that are trending on YouTube? So, obviously the question, I think, is about, the fact that that's a lot of books. A crazy amount of books. I haven't actually seen any. I don't remember watching any videos with, that huge of a book haul. And I don't, want to be negative about it, because I understand the desire to collect books, as I have it. I use a lot of self-control, and I don't buy nearly that many books, but I don't really see a problem with it, except for the fact that it might encourage other people to do it when they feel like they have to have that many books, which, just isn't true. Nobody has to do anything, or, do what everybody else is doing, or have as many books, or anything as other people. So, yeah, I think that's my thought on that. Next is John 8606. John B. So they asked, what are your top 3 book-based films? It's a good question. There are a lot of movies that are based on books, which I've always thought was really interesting, because I think when I was younger, I always just assumed that somebody wrote a script for the movie, But I think it's kind of cool that, you know, authors get the chance to do that a lot, because writing is really hard. So I think that having it pay off like that is really good. I think that, you know, there are just so many amazing books, and pretty much every book that I've read, you know, pretty much every book that I've read, if it hasn't already been made into a movie, I think about how good it would be as a movie. So I think that it makes sense. But, okay, let me think. I'll just maybe list some off that I think of, and then I'll try to think of my top 3. So, the first one that I think of is Twilight. I like the whole Twilight series. That holds a special place in my heart. So does the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I think that was based on a book. All of the Nicholas Sparks books that have been made into movies, I've liked. I do like romance movies, and my favorite of those movies is probably The Notebook, but I also really like The Choice and The Best of Me, I think it's called. There's another one with Zac Efron. I can't remember what it's called. Lucky something. I know that Little Women was a book, but I didn't love that movie. Same with Women Talking. I really like the movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. That's a really good movie to watch in the fall time, by the way. It's very trippy. It's really good. That's based on a book, but I haven't read that book. That's definitely in my top 3, I think. But again, I haven't read the book, so I don't know if that counts. The movie Arrival, with the sci-fi movie that is based on, I think it's based on a short story by Ted Chiang. I don't think I'm saying his last name right, but I haven't read that book either. I want to, though, and that's one of my favorite movies. And literally none of the ones I'm thinking of I've read, except for Twilight. But the other one I can think of is the movie The Power of the Dog. I think that came out last year, and that's an amazing movie. So I'm gonna say Arrival, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and The Power of the Dog. But I should read those books. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay, next is Raja 3652. So they had a few questions. Who is your favorite ASMR artist? Mine, Adequate ASMR. I've never heard of them. I'll look them up though. So I've talked a lot about my favorite ASMR channels. ASMR Fleur, Jeannie B ASMR, ASMR Beauty, and Gentle Whispering ASMR, who does not really need a shout out for me because she's huge. I also like Peace and Serenity ASMR. Okay. How you came to know about ASMR. I just heard about it through YouTube, unfortunately through people making fun of it and making like parody ASMR. And then one day I decided to watch, a serious ASMR video. Ting Ting ASMR. She was the first one that I got into, and she's still one of my favorites. But that's how I got into watching ASMR. I have known about the phenomenon of ASMR, the fact that I get it, and I didn't have a word for it, but I knew that I got it. I've known about that since I was a kid, I think like 10 or so, and I got it from I went to like an after school daycare, and the woman that ran it, she gave me ASMR all the time with her voice, and I didn't know what to call it except for this warm feeling, this calm, like feeling warm all over feeling. So I'm pretty sure it was like ASMR. Their next question is, how old are you? Right now I am 28. Which books you want to recommend to us? So obviously I have a lot of book videos, and I talk about which books I like and recommend, but I'll just list some of my favorites. My Dark Vanessa, The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That's like a dark book, just literary fiction. That's a fantasy romance. Love and Other Words for a romance. Love Theoretically for a romance. The Nightingale. That book is about World War II. So it's historical fiction. Billy Summers by Stephen King. Yeah, those are some of them. Okay, so those were all your questions. Thank you. First Class ASMR asked a few questions. So this is a good one. She says, if you were a cat, which breed would you be and why? So, for those of you who don't know, I have a cat. Her name is Cleo, and she is a ragdoll. And that is definitely the best cat breed. But what cat breed would I be? I don't think I would be a ragdoll. I think I might just be an orange tabby. Orange tabbies are like known for being like weird and random, and I'm not like that in my videos, but in real life I kind of am. I like to make people laugh, and I can be a little weird and chaotic. I always have like the calm personality, and I'm very, very quiet. But if I'm comfortable around someone, then I can get weird and silly. What are your opinions on artificial intelligence? I don't have much to say about it. I'm sorry. I don't really know anything about it. kind of wish I did because it's a big topic, but it just scares me. That's all I really think about it. I'm scared about change. I don't like change. So yeah, that's my only opinion. Like, I guess I'm saying, like, it scares me, but I don't know enough about it to know if that's rational or not. Okay. What was the last song that you listened to? I'm gonna open up my Spotify. I can answer. Okay. The last song that I listened to was Eye in the Sky by the Alan Parsons Project. Okay. If you were running for president, what would your campaign slogan be? That's hard. You know what? I have a note in my notes app with, like, phrases that I like, and I'm gonna read some. So I'm not directly answering your question, but it's like, yeah, this won't answer the question. But anyway, the phrases that I have written down are these would all be bad. This would all be really bad campaign slogans. So, first I have, it's an open question. It's an open question / an empirical question. So that's like something. So that's like something that you would say in response to, like, somebody implying something. You'd say, well, it's an open question. That's par for the course. Don't threaten me with a good time. And something terrible. So, like, if somebody said, I miss you, something terrible, that does not answer the question at all. I don't know. I just think that that would really depend on a lot of stuff. What would yours be? But thank you for your questions, first class ASMR. Those were good questions. Okay. New Year, New Me 23 asks, do your friends and family know about your YouTube channel? Only one person knows about my YouTube channel, and that's my boyfriend. And I want it to stay that way. What first got you into ASMR? I feel like I already answered that. What color socks do you currently wear? Are they matching or odd? Most people wear odd nowadays. Do they? And prove it. I'm not good to prove it. I usually wear plain white socks, and I never wear odd socks. They're always matching. Sometimes I might wear colorful, like, athletic socks. Do you play any video games? The only video game that I play now is Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch. I usually play that more in, like, the fall and winter time. I used to play a lot of Super Mario Brothers and Mario Kart. And I used to play, like, a lot of computer games when I was a kid, but can't remember them really. Okay, so thank you for your questions. Sorry I couldn't answer. I am Will Jr. asked, more representative of book ASMR artists needed. How do you like the community space? So, I don't think I know about the, demographics of the ASMR community enough to answer the first question. I've wondered if there could be more men that do ASMR. I think that it's possible. I don't have any data to back this up, so I could just be saying nonsense, but I think that it's possible that men are afraid to do ASMR because they think that people won't like it. It seems to be that there might be more women that do it than men, so I'm gonna say that. And I do like the community space, but I need to I find the comment sections on ASMR videos really, really supportive, and between different creators. So I think it's really good, but I also need to spend more time in it and talking to other people to really know. Thank you. I am Will Jr. Okay, mine rose to ban. Okay, I don't know how to say that. Favorite classic literature and favorite contemporary book. My favorite classic is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and my favorite contemporary book right now is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Okay. Nitrove asked, do you read American comics or Japanese manga? Short answer is no. I've read a lot of Archie comics in my day, and I like superhero comics, but I haven't spent much time reading them. Let me know if you have any recommendations for either of these. And I've never read any manga, but I really want to, so please let me know if you have recommendations. Okay. Sam Oglivy 2691, got any hobbies outside of reading and ASMR? I actually think I have quite a few hobbies, but I also would like to start doing more hobbies. So I like reading, I like watching movies, watching TV. I like to do art, so I like to paint the most. But I also like to draw. I like pretty much anything that's artistic. I will be getting back into that once I'm done school. But maybe sooner than that. I go to the gym regularly, if that counts as a hobby. I like to do yoga, but I want to do more of it. I want to go to some classes. I grew up playing sports and all kinds of different sports, and I'd still say that's a hobby of mine. Pretty much anything like, I enjoy playing hockey the most, basketball, I like playing badminton. I would like to get into, playing tennis. I like pickleball. I like to surf, and I need to get my own surfboard so that I can do it more. Going to the beach. I like to hike and just be in nature. So thank you for that question. And we're at the last question, and this was from the same person. They asked me, have I ever been to Scotland? No, but I really, really want to go. Have you been there, or are you from there? Because, let me know. My mom has been to Scotland, and I'm very jealous, very envious of her. And it's interesting because I feel a connection to Scotland. It feels like this weird spiritual thing. But I really like the culture and, like, you know, the way it looks and everything. So I definitely want to go, but I haven't yet. Yeah, so that, I think, was all of the questions that people asked. So I want to say a big thank you to those of you who asked me questions. If you liked this video, please comment and let me know. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. But I hope that you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more. I will do this again in the future, probably, especially if people liked it, so let me know. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you, and if anyone wants to answer any of the questions, please feel free to do so. I would also like to get to know all of you more, so yeah, I hope that this was nice to listen to and relaxing, as always, and I hope to see you again soon.